What's going on YouTube? This is Tony here from Always Causing Racquet, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'm reviewing one of my favorite, if not my favorite of all time, one of Toroline's strings. And it's not the new Toro that recently came out. Lately, I have been testing out Toroline Toro in 16L and this matcha green color, which is very nice, and it's very different from your typical neon strings, just kind of like Wasabi or Solinco Hyper G. But this is one of my favorite strings and a really good competitor to Restring Zero, which I'll probably talk about later in this video. A little backstory into Toroline for those who aren't familiar. I think Tennis Nerd was one of the first ones that posted about Toroline Caviar. I decided to give it a try, and it was definitely like a Hyper G Solinco Confidential competitor. Then they released Toroline Wasabi, which is one of their softer strings, and Carousel plays a hybrid of both called Toroline K-Pop, which is caviar in the mains and wasabi in the crosses. So they're picking up, they're a really good company, and they started releasing Toro, which ATP player Steve Johnson helped create. So they started making those strings. But yeah, I haven't seen too much advertisements into Toro, which I'm kind of surprised why. Background into this is 16L, which is one of their thickest gauge that they make. They only make 16L for Caviar and Enzo Pro and Toro. This 16L only comes in this matcha green, which I really like. It also has the slick coating, which is pretty similar to Restring Zero or Toroline Wasabi. So the elasticity is really good, and the snapback is really good. So tension maintenance is pretty good for this overall. And if you guys don't like the softness of wasabi and you want something that offers a more crisp feel, I think this is a really good string to try out. I haven't tried out their 17 gauge. I just bought their 16L just because I need something a little bit thicker nowadays, since I'm kind of breaking strings and playing so often. So I highly recommend this. And I'm going to be doing a quick review, talking about forehands, backhands, serves, and just kind of like who this is for, and any comparison to any other popular strings. So thank you all for watching, and let's keep going. I'm going to put this on my Yonex Ezone 98 Midnight Aqua Color. I'll probably string this at 50 pounds, which is my usual, especially because lately it's been cold outside, so I've been playing indoors. And for all my stringers out there, this is hexagonal shaped, but it has that slick coating. Before we get started, I just want to point out that this isn't a paid promotion. I was not paid to make any advertisements for Toroline. I bought this on my own. This is strictly my review. So just want to get that out there. If you guys like watching these types of stuff, please make sure to hit like and subscribe, and also go down to the link in the description of the video to also get some discounts on these Toroline strings. I really recommend Toroline Toro and Toroline Wasabi and Toroline Caviar. Those are probably my favorites. I highly recommend giving these out a try. Go to the link to get some discounts. All right, so I just finished stringing this, and let's get out on the court. So starting off on the baseline, I'm playing indoors, so it does tend to be a little bit louder. But the first thing I always notice with Toro is how crisp and loud the response is from this racket. And if you guys aren't familiar with something like that, it's something kind of like very familiar with Signum Pro Firestorm or Luxilon ALU Power. They just sound very, very crisp and loud when you make contact. Personally, I like that more. It's just amplified when it's indoors, and I'm not too much of a fan of mushier, softer strings, so I prefer this over Wasabi in my opinion. But as you guys can also tell, I'm kind of getting back into hitting because it's winter, and so I can only play indoors. So my form has kind of been all over the place, and you guys can see that I'm hitting off of my back right foot a lot from my forehand, so the launch angle is kind of high. So I'm just going to be kind of speaking a little bit on that as well. But starting off with the forehands, I didn't have any issues of hitting into the net at all. As you guys can see, my net clearance is pretty high, and that's because of that hexagonal shaped string. It just grips the ball a little bit longer. So if anything, I had more of an issue with accidentally hitting it out, you know, past the baseline. And again, that's because I had 50 pounds tension. We're playing indoors, you know, and my forehand tends to have a higher launch angle because I'm hitting off of the back foot instead of stepping in. So a lot of factors there. So just to keep in mind as you guys see me hitting. But again, I enjoyed playing this and hitting forehands. The spin on this is really good. There's really good control because it's that 16L, so a little bit thicker gauge. But I didn't have any issues of hitting into the net at all. Had a really good launch angle and depth into the court on my forehands. Going into the backhands, my backhand, I tend to hit a little bit flatter, but because this is that hexagonal shaped string, you know, I actually had a little bit of a higher launch angle than I'm used to. I think sometimes my one issue with my backhands is that I don't have that leg drive and lift, you know, to go into the court. So I'm kind of hitting into the net, and yeah, that I don't know how that happened, but that smacked my face. But yeah, going back, I enjoyed that this string gave me a little bit of more launch, so I didn't have to hit as flat into my backhands. So yeah, I like this on the backhands, and the slices were good. The only thing, again, with my slices and form, my launch angle tends to, you know, kind of go a little bit higher. Going into the volleys, I'm not too much of a volley expert, so this might, you know, might not be for everyone, but the response on this, again, it's that crisp feeling string. I am not one person to have too much feel into the court. That is something I am working on, so I can't really speak into that more, but I can feel the impact on the volleys. I know if I'm connecting well with it or not. As soon as I hit like a shank or something, you know, I have a tendency to hit through on my volley, so I have an issue with getting it past the baseline instead of hitting it into the net. That might just be more of a form factor, if anything, for me. But yeah, I like this on volleys. Serves, probably one of my favorite things about this string, just because, again, I like how loud and that impact it makes. I think with first serves, since I am a little on the shorter side, I tend to hit more kick on my, I tried to get a little bit more spin on my serve, so there's a lot of top spin, and it just gets into the court very easily. So serves, I really enjoyed this. I don't think I had any issues with double faults. I just like the crispness of this. The final verdict, I really enjoyed this string here, and the question is, who is it really for? I think personally, if you aren't a frequent string breaker, and if you don't like stuff that's, you know, on the mushier side or softer, then I highly recommend trying out this string. If you feel like you aren't even breaking the 16L, then go down to the 17 gauge and try that one out. It offers a good blend of tension maintenance, spin, and power, and it's not harsh at all. I think this is, you know, to me, it's like medium stiffness. It's definitely not as stiff as Toro. I think comparing this to Restring Zero, personally, I play with the 16 gauge, so I'm gonna compare the 16 gauge to the 16L. With Restring Zero, you're gonna get more durability. It'll last a little bit longer because to me it feels a little bit thicker. I think since both strings have that gloss coating, they're both gonna have really good tension maintenance and snapback, so the strings aren't gonna be moving at all. And for the 16 gauge compared to a 16L, I think with the 16L you'll get a little bit more feel, a little bit more power, and spin. The only one downside would be durability. So I think for Restring Zero, if you like something on the firmer side that offers really good durability, then go for that. If you aren't a frequent string breaker, but you want the same type of playability, maybe something a little bit less firm, that offers a crisp, like sounding, really good sound when you hit the ball, then I highly recommend this out. Let me know what you guys think. If you have tried it, please put it down in the comments. I would love to get your opinions. And see you guys in the next video. Bye.